Ratchet, this Autobot needs repairs.
Be still. I'll get you fixed up.
Hello peoples, and welcome to this review of the Studio Series Gamer Edition Autobot Ratchet, which I'm going to centralize. But as we all know, before we take a look at Ratchet, let's take a look at Ratchet's box. So this is the box Ratchet comes in. Nice CGI render, Transformers War for Cybertron, words, all of this crap. Then back, you got your obligatory product shots. That's a problem. You got all that stuff. So now we can look at the man himself, Autobot Medic Ratchet. Let's centralize that a bit. And now I think we can all agree that white on white doesn't look the greatest. So I bring you the black box. This is just me swapping the things around. They're white on one side and this color on the other side, and I think this looks much better for the white figures. So let's bring in the phone and look at Ratchet. So you got the head sculpt. I'm more used to seeing Ratchet with red horns and a white head, but I do like that. You got the shoulder pads, you got the Autobot symbol, you got the really chunky legs. And in terms of the back, like, he does have a bit of a backpack, but due to the nature of his design and how the legs work, it does kind of flush. And while this isn't 100% accurate to your POV in the game, it is still pretty close. So yeah, detail-wise, he's very good. And accessory-wise, okay, so let's start off good. Let's start with the good. You got the inbuilt blaster / healing ray thing. He's a gamer edition, so you take his arm off, put it on. I love how it kind of engulfs the wheel. I like that. And then, this guy has the best arm storage of any gamer edition figure. You open up the back, spoil the transformation a little bit, and that slot there will be filled by this tab. So you snap that in, close it up, and you can hardly tell it is there. That is good arm storage, if I do say so myself. And the blaster itself does look pretty cool. I mean, it is like a medical blaster, but I assume he could use it as a weapon if he wanted to. Now the axe. I have a bit of a horror story for the axe. So you saw it in the intro, and if you noticed, it was not slid into the hands. Want to know why it wasn't slid into the hands? Because, good lord, that thing is so unnecessarily tight in the hands that I needed to get a family member to help me take it out. I needed them to pull the arm one way, I pulled the handle the other way, and only then would it come out. Oh my god. I think it's just a me thing because I haven't seen it be that bad. I'll probably sand it down after this video, but the axe does look good. It does come in 2 pieces in the box, and I have discovered 2 ways to store the 2 pieces in vehicle mode, but I am getting ahead of myself. Now, articulation. Head, ball joint, can look up, can look down, cannot tilt, but it can, in fact, rotate. Shoulder pads are on armatures completely detached from the arms due to the way they transform. So the hinge joint here and a ball joint here, which means they can get out of the way for the arm to go a full 360, and they can hinge out, and you can position the shoulder pad however you want there. But a cool thing is when you put the arm out, the shoulder pad still shifts by itself. And you can have it one of 2 ways. You can have it like that when you want the arm up, or it can do that due to a shifting panel in here. I like that. Like, that just looks a bit more natural to me. You do get a bicep rotation, 90 degrees at the knee. I mean, elbow, that is not a knee. You get wrist swivel, which is slightly loose on my copy. It's not like annoyingly loose. It's just a bit, I notice it. You get a decently tight waist joint, hips kick forward that far, back is a little limited due to the backpack, but they can go in and out. See, you can move the arm and you don't even need to consciously think of the shoulder pad, it just goes. Get a thigh rotation. The legs look like the knees are facing forward. They're not. That's just how they're designed, so that gets you a 90-degree bend at the knee. Get an ankle pivot, a ratcheted ankle pivot. But you can kind of go in the soft, between soft and dented ratchets, and a toe bend due to transformation. So he has a specialty joint that's actually useful for poses. You can get him, like, toe walk. Here, we'll get him into a walking pose. Behold! Walk pose. Alright. Oh crap, light. Okay, so, now that we have done articulation, I think you know what comes next. The one and only size comparisons. So, I'm going to compare next to all my Gamer Edition figures, because I don't have many. Here's him next to Optimus, and yes, I did customize these, so Ratchet, you will get paint soon enough. It'll take a while I'm still getting used to you, but eventually. So, there's Optimus comparison. They are similar in bulk, but Ratchet is actually heavier than Prime, which I like. Next up, we have Autobot Cliff Jumper, and I just want to show you guys something I did with the Cliff Jumper custom. Tail lights! Tail lights! I'm very happy with those tail lights. I'm happy with all these customs. Cliff Jumper, I might have overdone it a little bit. The scratches are much more prevalent IRL. But yeah, that's a good scale. And if you're going by how he looks next to Bumblebee in Morph Cybertron, yeah, that works. Next up is the Gamer Edition Megatron, which I also customized. And I'd say that these two scale pretty well together. And you got all the stuff on Megatron. You got the purple and fusion cannon, which I added. Last but not least, Gamer Edition Starscream, who is not only... Okay, I can cut that out. Crisis averted. So, Starscream, like, mass-wise, I don't know, actually. If I had a scale, I would weigh them. And there goes my cat. And lastly, I'm going to compare him next to one other figure. Studio Series Bumblebee movie Ratchet, who he is much shorter than, who is decently taller than. So yeah, I can definitely see these two being the same design, this just upgraded. Alright. Now, transformation. So, first thing I like to do is get the feet over with, so you want to click them into place and fold the toes down. They could have easily put a stop here, but they didn't, and that just adds extra articulation. Now you want to take the auto badge and flip it down. I like that. And you unpeg the backpack and unfold it. This guy mass shifts incredibly well. So, then what you want to do is take these shoulder pads. Now, the instructions are very weird about how these are supposed to go. They need to go like this so that they form kind of a cup behind his head. That took me a hot minute to figure out because the instructions are not very clear about how to do that. And then you want to take chest, unpeg it. Want to take the head, shift it down. And when you shift it down, that tab goes down. And when you peg it back into here, it goes up by itself. So now you want to bring this up, and you can collapse these panels against it if you want. It doesn't help much in my experience, but I do like doing it. Bring this out. Rotate the biceps so you can snap the arm. Then this slot. will go into that tab in there. Once again, the instructions are not very clear on how that works. And then this slot will go into that tab. So there are the wheels. Now let's do the same on the other side. Boom. So now you want to bring this down and collapse these pieces, which will peg this top piece into place. Then you slide the arms all the way up into their tabs. Next up, you want to rotate the waist. Then rotate the thighs. Now this, holy crap, this is where it gets crazy. So you open this panel and expose all that in the leg. So you decompress this, fold up this panel, peg it in, make sure this is straightened out. That's on a double joint, so you want to make sure this joint goes in first, or else it won't peg in. But you want to decompress that, peg that in, bring the leg down to an angle, snap at just below the knee, and swing that whole thing around, and then this slot on that panel will peg into that tab on the bottom of the foot. Now I'm going to do the same thing off camera. Boom. Alright, so now you peg everything together. Now I won't be the first to admit that this takes a bit of force on the first time. So, peg those together, and then peg the rear together, and then, oh, that was the sound. Peg those panels together, bring them out, and then push those panels together, and this tab will go into that slot, and these two tabs need to go under here, and then these tabs peg into those slots. There are a lot of tab and slot connections here that you want to make sure all line up nice. Look at the bottom, make sure everything is as aligned as you get it. And let's lower the camera real quick so we can look at the vehicle mode. Oh my god, this thing is bigger than a computer mouse. And it also rolls disgustingly well. Like, oh my god. Because all four wheels are pinned on, and well at that. But I love this just hamburger of an alt mode. Just hamburger. Like, and the underside kibble is not bad, and he is solid as a rock. Weapon storage. Gun does standard Transformer gun thing, where it pegs onto the back. Axe. So, these two slots are specifically shaped to go into those two tabs. And usually, you peg that in there. But I have found out that if you open up these panels, oh no, bring the handle down here, and peg that in. This worked all the rest of the times I did it. But when I do it on camera, no, it doesn't want to work because it's on camera. But that is an option for weapon storage of this. Close enough. Now then, with that, we will do alt mode size comparisons. So first up, we have, of course, Optimus, who I thought Prime had a big alt mode. Ratchet's alt mode is chunky. Like, sure, Prime's alt mode is, like, larger, but Ratchet's is in such more of a condensed space, it feels bigger. Next up is Cliff Jumper, who, I mean, I'm not sure about the scale here, but it's okay. Tail lights. I'm going to need to add those right here. Those kind of goldish, yellowish tail lights. Next up, we got Megatron. Say that's not bad. And finally, for the Gamer Edition figures, we have the very overpainted Starscream. Yeah, went a bit overboard on the cockpit, but yeah, like, Starscream's alt mode is bigger, yes, but Ratchet's alt mode is so heavy in such a compact form that it makes it feel bigger than it actually is. And finally, we can do the Bumblebee movie Ratchet, which, I mean, they look similar enough to be the same character, but this one seems more G1 inspired. So now I'm going to do a quick transformation. We can do some final thoughts. Buy this. This thing's so good, I'm considering getting the Ironhide version that comes out next year, and I have never once bought a repaint of the same figure into a different character. Never once. I've never done that before. I've bought new mold versions, but this is so good, I'm considering buying Ironhide. This is good. It's probably one of if not the best Gamer Edition figure to come out. So yeah, get this thing if you have the opportunity. I will see you all in the next one.